Hello, I'm Monty Yoakum, and I'm not wearing any pants. Okay, gonna go ahead and say up front, first thing in this video, if you don't want to hear about my penis, because that's what this entire story is about, turn this video off now. Okay, still with me. Okay, this was one of my earlier stories from when I was 14, 15, 16, somewhere in there, and, like most guys that age, I woke up damn near every morning fucking rock hard, diamond cutting, morning wood boner. So, I learned fairly quickly that if you make him uncomfortable, he will go away. So you just kind of roll over onto him, he'd flop over to the side and, be uncomfortable and realize he wouldn't want to go away so you could get up, take your morning piss, and go to school. So, I don't recommend doing that. I don't recommend it at all. Because one morning I wake up and just kind of lift myself up and flop down. At which point my dick hits the bed and bends the fuck over, breaking the big vein that goes along the bottom of it, breaking that fucking vein. Oh, loud pop, agonizing, horrible, just the worst fucking pain I've ever felt in my life. So, at that point, broken the vein, all the blood that's in there starts emptying into my nard sac, which, in and of itself, is just a terrible fucking feeling. And I've never really thought about it before. I realize, I'm still amazed to this day at the elasticity of the scrotum. Because all this blood emptying into it, it starts swelling up, and swelling and swelling and swelling, till it got about the size of a large orange small grapefruit, somewhere in there. Just swole up, completely smooth and fucking shiny. That was stretched out so much that my dick was fucking shiny. So, at this point, I'm in tears from this horrible, terrible pain radiating from the underside of my shaft, where I have, once again, broken the fucking vein. Now you see in movies, he broke his dick. No. That is the worst, most miserable fucking thing in the entire world. So at this point, I have two choices. Door number one, hobble out to the living room and announce to everybody in there, my parents, my brother, my much, much younger sister, I have broken my dick. Or door number two, which, in my mind, at that age, equally unpleasant. I find it funny that, I was terribly afraid of telling anybody about my penis back then, but now I'm sharing it on YouTube. So, door number two is go to school with a nard sack that's the size of a grapefruit and try and walk through the halls and interact with people and, sure as shit hope that you don't fucking sit on it. I, being an idiot, chose door number two. So I go to school and kind of muddle through it and just curse at anybody that talks. Hey, you alright? Fuck off, eat shit and die. Just awfulness. So, manage somehow to make it through the day. Come home and just go to bed and fucking cry. And cry. And cry. And finally get to sleep, wake up the next morning. Got morning wood again, which is dumping more blood into my fucking scrotum, which is, I will admit it did go down some, but now the blood has gone into, the surrounding pelvic region, and it's all started to bruise. You will not know true fear and terror till you wake up one morning and your balls are the darkest, angriest, most horrible fucking purple that ever existed. I'm telling you, if if Darth Vader were gay, this would be the purple that his suit was. Just the fucking blackest, darkest, angriest purple that ever existed. So I managed, this is terrifying. I'm looking down. Oh God, it's turned black now. So again, I have door number one. Go tell my parents, and of course have to show them that I'm not bullshitting to get out of school, which then leads to going to the hospital where more people presumably are at the very least going to look at my sack and probably be touching it. And in the mind of a 14-year-old, somebody else touching your... Oh, God. Nobody touches my dick but me. So end up deciding again, I'm going to go to school. I'm going to make it through this day. I'm going to somehow do this. So managed to do it. Surprisingly, get home and look down at it, and it started around each of the hair follicles. And as you probably know, hair grows from dead cells, usually in the surrounding area, or brought to the follicle by the bloodstream. So all this dead blood that has puddled and bruised my nard sack has now started to grow into these horrible, terrible, coarse, blonde pubes. Just like this blonde Brillo pad surrounding my nard sack, and God forbid I brush my hand against it, I'd have lost my, it would have taken skin off. And at the base of each of the follicles, it starts turning white, because it's absorbing the blood around it. So now what I've got is a not as bad, but still a fairly swollen scrotum that just looks like a golf ball with all the little divlets and everything else. Somebody took that and rolled it through a super thin layer of like plum, awful, terrible purple paint. Just this little white dots all around it, all over any of the hair follicles. But now I'm going on a tangent. So at this point, I realize, okay, my balls aren't dead, so there's no immediate medical risk at this point. So it continues to progress and heal. It goes through the Darth Vader purple, angry, terrible bruising down through the regular purple and the blue, awful blue color. And then this in my mind, the most still stands out as the most disturbing thing of my entire life. If you can picture this, that's right. Picture my balls in your mind. That's right. You got them in there? Okay. I've won now. But just my whole ball sack turning that funky, right before a bruise fades, that awful kind of patchy yellow color. I can still picture it clearly to this day. It's just a horrible, horrible sight. And finally fades away, but at the same time that my balls are getting better, I'm getting scar tissue build up along the bottom where the rip in the vein happened. So, still to this day, I have a reminder every time I get a stiffy. Most people have the straight dick, or they got the bit of a banana curve. I have a vector in my dick. It comes out nice and straight, and then BAM! Goes up at an angle. All of a sudden, just up. I don't know if anybody else has ever had that problem, just a fucking vector dick. But I've never had any complaints, so whatever. But okay, that's probably enough about my dick and shaft. And pictures available on request. No request ever. But So that's the story. One of my earliest stories about me breaking my dick. So until next time, I'm coming up on 10 minutes. So until next time, have a good one, and just keep that picture of my balls in your mind.